Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and we just had All In London for the AEW event. Less than, I mean, it's been about 10 hours now since it started, so maybe about 6 hours. I don't know. It's so long. I'm going to skip over the pre-show matches just mainly because also this tier list didn't have them. The overall pre-show, I'd give it a pretty solid B. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy happened. But we'll jump right into it. So we'll have the All In, what is it, the AEW World Trios Championship. We had the Patronage versus the Bang Bang Gang versus House of Black, and then we had Pac, Wheeler Yuta, and Cat. What God? I only Claudio. I always when I do this, I'm like it's Cesaro, but it's not Cesaro because just his WWE name. Um, as being like the secret team. I think overall this match had some pretty decent spots. We kind of similar. I had like the Patronage having some interesting areas with Mama or Wayne trying to go up there and get the championships. I thought that was pretty solid. Kind of a good spot. Luchasaurus just getting more and more ready to turn on Christian Cage, which we'll see more even later on in the show. But I think overall, just a really good match. I'm gonna put it in good match. I think the new team. Well, it's not new team. It's just the Blackpool Combat Club. I think was perfect for to win it. Honestly, it just I don't know. Those matches just have so many people, and it was like a ladder match, so they had some really insane spots. But like, it's just it was a lot. That whole match was a lot. Next up, we have Tony Storm and Marissa May. Now, instantly, this has been one of the hottest rivalries that they've had and biggest stories, and to have it relegated to second, like that's just crazy. Like some of the stories that are in this are just the story matches are just barely even given, or like shown anywhere. Like this just kind of sucks. The match itself, I thought was really good. I'll put it in good. I would have probably put it higher if it would have, maybe been a little bit longer because it deserved more time and you could have put it into the higher thing, but man, it was just rough to have that. Next up, you had Jericho and Hook for the FTW Championship, which basically just means like there's no rules. Honestly, I feel like that kind of ruined it because it was like basically a 3-on-1 match, and then had to have like Taz come down there to save his kid. And I just think overall, like it was just really poorly done. I think the result was perfect because I think like Hook should have won it. I mean, it's obviously his like third championship that he's gotten of this one. Jericho doesn't need it, and honestly, I hope the whole learning tree fade goes away, but I highly doubt it. I was gonna say they had the cricket bat and cricket ball thing was so bad because it was just like he missed Jericho with 90% of them except for one that he beamed off his leg. It was just a little ridiculous. I'm gonna put it in bad. I was gonna say maybe okay, but I'm just gonna put it in bad. Next up, we had the AEW World Tag Team Champion match. FTR versus the Young Bucks versus the Acclaim. I actually really like this match. They had some really good back and forth, some really good spots, and overall, I think like the brutality that they all don't like each other was really good. And then I guess with having the pretty what is it the grizzled young vets came at the end. I think kind of like it was good because they got a pop, but I don't think it was really needed in there, and I think it just kind of made the ending a little bit stale. I'll put an okay overall. I think the match good, story in it bad, results could have been different. Didn't really care that much. I just kind of lost it because I really thought the acclaimed deserved that one, and they were just such a hot tag team. Not to just have the championships on them seemed a little crazy. Next up is the Casino Gauntlet match. This is for a guaranteed world title shot at any moment or any time, I guess. Uh, I don't know. I went into it not knowing a lot about it. I kind of thought like it was like a 21 man Royal Rumble, and then you'd have to pin each opponent or submit them to get them out, but it's just the very first one. That's just kind of not really that fun. I feel like they could have had some eliminations and had some crazier spots that way. I guess the biggest thing from it was Ricochet debuting, which we kind of already knew was going to happen because like he had at least signed with them, and I'm glad that he did because I mean I want Ricochet to have the best that he can do. Like he's a great wrestler, so why not get that opportunity in a new place that I think will at least benefit from his wrestling. I think he's going to have a lot of good spots over there. But at the moment, I'm gonna say this match was good. I thought there were some really good spots. Hangman was great. Ricochet was great. All of that was good. The ending was, I think, where I lost it. I would have probably put it a little higher, but the ending with Luchasaur coming down, still helping Christian Cage and giving him the win. I just think like we had so much crazy stuff to that being the ending was just not worth it. Next up, we have Osprey versus MGF. Another classic. Definitely not as good as the 60-minute match, but I'll be honest. Like I like wrestling, but 60 minutes of a match was long. This one was kind of long in itself, but I think it was worth it because obviously you wanted to have Will Osprey show out in his front of his home crowd. I think overall, like I think the match was really good. I think that we didn't really doubt that. I think the build up was pretty solid after most of these matches. If you get rid of okay, so like the Hook and Jericho one long term storytelling, Tony Storm, Marisha May long term storytelling. So those had some payoffs for what the results were, but it was just like basically the same result. The person challenging wins, and then that rivalry is kind of done with not really having anything extra. This one doesn't feel done. It feels like this is just the like second part of a trilogy. So I feel like that really did benefit from the match. Will Ospreay just did Will Ospreay things. He's one of those wrestlers that you either think he's overrated, extremely like one of a kind. Either way, like if you, I think you could agree if you saw this match that he just was great out there. I mean, he did what he does, and obviously MGF can work a crowd really well and have some pretty solid wrestling, so we can't really discount that. I'm gonna put it in amazing. I think it definitely deserved it. I honestly only think would not have liked the result. I feel like leaving MGF win this one and setting up a trilogy would be better, and I think they're just gonna drop it. Maybe they're gonna leave that open for MGF to go after the new AEW champion, which we will have spoilers for at the end. That's the only way I could think. I mean, I thought MGF having that title around his belt is kind of where they wanted him, and it kind of feels weird. And I guess they'll probably revert the American title right back to the international title. I don't know. Next up, we got Mercedes Moné versus Britt Baker. I like Mercedes Moné a lot. I really do. But I feel like her run in AEW is just not it for me. I've just not liked any of it. It was just like she's gone in there, and I know she has like creative control of her character, and that's probably what it is. And knowing that we know that makes it worse, but it's just not good. I mean, this match was not good. I don't think either woman wanted to be in there, and they definitely didn't want to face each other. And it kind of felt that way. The ending just kind of felt eh. A lot of the moves were very stiff. Like they looked like they were trying to go out there and put a good match on, but it just did not work with whatever they gel. And maybe it's just them gelling. But for this being the like third main event match, this was just not worth it. The MJF and Ospreay match should have been in this spot, and this should have been at the beginning of the card, and Tony Storm missing. I feel like Tony Storm's match should have been higher up, and yeah, we're gonna put this in bad. I really do believe it belongs there, and it's kind of unfortunate. I think like a lot of Mercedes Money's matches, they're kind of getting in that way, and it kind of just leaves it up to not much going on in that division in the mid card. So I guess we'll see where this brings us. Next up, we have the just crazy ass coffin match. It's Darby Allin. You put Darby Allin in any match, I think you're gonna get a pretty high rated match. You had him just doing Darby Allin things, doing crazy stunts. Uh, God, I mean, this man is just crazy. Coming down with freaking thumbtacks on his face right off the bat. That was already kind of crazy. Jack Perry, I mean, he's leaning into his whole scapegoat thing. No matter what, he's at least trying to make lemonade with lemons. Just kind of go out there, do what you got to do. You're gonna have people hate on you because of all the CM Punk stuff, so you might as well just go out there and do despicable things and do pretty solid match. I think this one was definitely one of my favorite matches just because I like coffin matches in general. The ending kind of felt a little, I don't know, just rushed, I guess, to a certain extent. And then, basically they were going to set Darby Allin on fire inside of it, just absolutely murder him until Sting came down. Which I'm one of those people. As somebody retires, I just kind of wish they stay retired. If they have announced the retirement, It's just we don't need another run. We already got a retirement, and I know he's not going to come back for anything other than just that moment. But that just moment is kind of cheapened because it should be just set. It just shouldn't be there. Just somebody else could have came down there and saved him. We'll put that into an amazing match. I still think it's great. Then we got Swerve and Daniel. Brian Danielson. I don't know why I was got hit. I was trying to say both of his names at once. His WWE name, his regular name. This match was, title versus career, so I felt that made it a little bit predictable. I feel like if Brian Danielson said like I'm just gonna retire the next time I lose or something, that could have been like a better thing to let up so in the past we would have never really known when he's gonna be gone, but like when you say it's my career, but like I got some fuel left in the tank, you kind of have a feeling that he's gonna win here, and obviously he did. I think the match itself was really amazing. Like Swerve has been a great champion, and like this match is definitely the culmination of it. I wish that Hangman had some interference at the end. I wish like he actually had some physical interference. Like he went in there, did a bunch of stuff, then got pulled out of there by like the security. But it was kind of just like a little bit of a distraction, and then Danielson took him out. Like it just kind of felt that cheapens it for both people, at least in my eyes. Like it's fine if you just get like screwed over, like that's fine. Like that's all wrestling. That puts them back into a huge feud, which I think is where it's gonna be. And I kind of sucks, man. I kind of like Swerve being as a champion. I'm gonna miss it, and all the different like main eventing this, main eventing that, being like the first African American that did all that in AEW is great, and like he's gonna be remembered for that. But I'm ready for title two already. Like hopefully sooner than later, and we'll see what Brian Danielson has. I feel like we're going to have a pretty solid title run with him. I don't think it's gonna be long. I'd say like 3 months, but I still think it's gonna be really good. And overall, I'm gonna put that as the best match of the night. Between all the stuff that was in it and the wrestling itself, I think everything deserved it to put it on top. And that is my rating. Tell me what you guys think if you're watching these AEW stuff. If you guys want more AEW content, also sound off in the comic books comments below, because I do a lot of WWE and Marigold stuff, and I watch AEW and I catch the highlights throughout the week, and I'm pretty close up to Puff with all the storylines, but I would lean into more of it if it's something that's more popular. I just kind of go what was popular on the videos too. So if you comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff, then I know. This has been Japan. Bye, guys.